Sick of everything in your wardrobe? Me too. Currently getting rid of stuff that you don't like? Don't do that. Don't do that yet, because we are going to be upcycling some old clothes and turning them into something that you will wear. So upcycling is when you take old clothing and turn it into something new. And the reason that this is so great is because there's a lot of things in your closet that you can do this with, and you just have to take the time to think about it. Take a t-shirt, for instance. You could turn that into a dress or a different type of top or a skirt. Yeah, there's many different things you can do. Now, some of these upcycles do require a sewing machine, but there are some upcycles that you can do that don't, such as this little top. I do recommend, though, if you have never upcycled clothing and you have a lot of things that you're giving away, try your idea on something that is pretty much destroyed or super stained that you can't donate, just to make sure you don't ruin it on a good piece of fabric that you have. Something I should mention, though, is that I do have a sewing machine I will be using for this, and let me show you it right now. This is the cutest sewing machine I've ever seen. Look how small it is. It's so tiny. I used to have a big industrial sewing machine, so having this is like, it's unbelievably small. So I got this sewing machine from Michaels. It is a Singer M1000, and it works just as well as my industrial sewing machine, and I would highly recommend getting this if you maybe are a beginner or you just don't want to get like a huge sewing machine that takes up a lot of space. I wanted this because it was small and it's great for storage and moving around. But as I said before, not all upcycles require you to have sewing skills. I'm not the best at sewing. I can get away with doing it, but I'm not the best at it. Like, I don't really know how to do it properly. I've never taken a class. I just kind of taught myself. I do know that most craft stores that sell sewing machines do have sewing classes that you can go to. So that's definitely some helpful information if you want to get into sewing and you don't know where to start. So these are all items I attempted to sell because they were in good condition, but they didn't sell. So now I'm going to upcycle them because I like the fabric and the material, and I think I can turn it into something new so I can still wear this item. The issue with this dress is I accidentally shrank it and it's far too short to be appropriate. But I had a thought. I can actually fix this by making it into a two-piece, a skirt and a top. And that might look really beautiful. So that's what we're going to attempt to do today with this dress. All I did was cut along the waistline, leaving enough room to give myself a crop top and a skirt that would be long enough to, you know, cover my booty, and then I just cut it straight across. For the top, I did not have to sew it, so in order to keep it from fraying, I just lit the edges and that melted them to the material, so that way when I throw it in the wash, it won't come to pieces. For the bottom part, though, I did have to sew it a little bit in the waist to fit me properly, and if you are going to sew, this is the easiest thing to do because you just go in a straight line and then you cut off the excess fabric. Okay, this outfit has turned out perfectly because I can now wear this top with jeans, and I can also wear this skirt with a different shirt, and I can also wear them together. So I think that upcycling a dress is probably the best way to go because you get two in one, as long as the upper half fits you properly. I really like how this turned out. For my next project, I decided to do something a little more simple, and that is make a bandana out of an old t-shirt. You could use any sort of color or material for this, and you just cut out a triangle shape any size that you desire, and then cut some thicker strings which will be used for the sides that will tie under your head, and super glue them on, and voila. The next item is another dress that did not sell on my Poshmark. I love the top part of this though because the bottom half is what doesn't fit me, so I figured maybe I could cut this into a nice top because it has the puff sleeves and it can go off shoulder, and it's a beautiful beautiful dress, and it would make a beautiful top as well. So that's my plan for this one. I won't be sewing for this project, I will just be cutting it at the length that I desire, and because I'm planning on tucking this into bottoms, I kept it a little bit longer because I'm not going to be sewing the hem and I want the hem to be hidden. And then I lit the edges of the fabric again just to kind of melt it together. So here is the top that I made out of the dress, and like I said before, dresses are probably the easiest way to get a new piece of clothing without having to do too much work because I didn't even have to sew anything. I just cut it and it's tucked in so I can't see the hem. And my idea for this top anyways was to wear a corset on top of it or wear it tucked into something, so sewing the hem wasn't really necessary for the way I wanted to wear this shirt. For my next upcycle, I have this mesh dress. It's like a long t-shirt, and I like this. I've worn it once. I wore it to Coachella and it's cool, but I have not worn it since. So I thought that I could spice this up by putting some stars on it. And how I'm going to do this is I'm going to drop bits of hot glue on it and pour glitter on it, and hopefully it will give me a nice starry effect. I've seen lots of tops like this and I've wanted one, so why not, try to make it myself before giving it away. So I'm here to tell you that not all ideas are good ideas. This, bad idea. Like, this literally looks like a 3-year-old tried to draw on a shirt or something. I don't know, it just did not turn out how I expected. And I thought that I would be able to get the drops of the hot glue gun small enough to look like stars, but I couldn't do it. So these are just very large drops of hot glue with glitter, and it just looks a mess. Let's act like this never happened because this is just not great. The next thing I will be upcycling is this blue jean jacket. I love this jacket, but for some reason I just haven't been wearing it since I painted this on the back of it, and it's really beautiful. I love the snowy mountains, but I just haven't worn it. So I'm thinking if I change up the print a little bit that I might be more willing to reach for it in my closet, and that's exactly what we want. But I think the cool thing about having a blue jean jacket like this that you can paint on is that whenever you aren't feeling it anymore, you can just paint over it and have a new jacket in your wardrobe, which is really, really awesome, because think about how many jackets you have that you just continuously wear, but it's the same jacket. This way, you can change it all the time, and it's like having something new. Once again, I am using acrylic paints, and because I am working on a porous material, I am not applying a sealant to this project because even if I wash it, the paint's not going to chip off. It might crack, but it's not going to chip. I don't really mind if it cracks. I kind of like that appeal, but to be totally honest, I don't really wash my blue jean jackets too much. So I finished the jacket and I love how it turned out. I thought I was gonna do something different, but then I decided that I just really liked the mountains, and maybe if I changed the sky, it would look better. And I don't know, I was inspired by some sunset paintings I found on Pinterest. I also like that I made it a little bit more colorful and not just the blue. I think I didn't like it before because the blue just blended into the blue jean color, and I don't know, I just didn't like it. But this, I already want to wear it now that I have a new painting on it. The next thing I'm upcycling is my boyfriend's t-shirt. I actually started working on this already. It was a size small men's. I thought that this would be a cute old money type shirt. I thought that I could maybe make this shirt a bit more fitted and it would look really cute with my black pleated skirt or a white pleated skirt. And that's my plan. So I cut the bottom of this already to make it my size, and I used the extra fabric to make these strings that I plan on putting here in the back of the t-shirt so I can adjust it to fit me properly. The reason I wanted to do the strings is because I felt it might be more fitted that way as opposed to just sewing the entire thing smaller and then having to stretch it to fit over my head. But I think that the strings route might look a little more stylish and unique, and it might be a lot easier to do. All I did was I cut 2 tiny holes in the back of the shirt, and I made sure that I tried the shirt on and I placed the holes where the shirt would fit me the most snugly once I had it on, because when you draw the strings together, it's going to tighten. So you want to make sure that you don't have them too close together. Otherwise, it's not actually going to fit you once you throw it on. This was a really easy shirt to make and I didn't even have to sew anything. So all I did for the sleeves was I rolled them on the inside and I glued them down because I wanted it to be seamless. And it's super easy to do. You can use hot glue or you can also use a fabric glue. And for the back, I didn't have to sew anything either. I just added these strings. Now, of course, the back of it doesn't look like the traditional type of collared shirt that you would see, but I thought it was a nice option instead of having to use the sewing machine, which I think you guys will probably want to see because I can't expect everyone to know how to sew or even want to go out and buy a sewing machine if they do sew. I think the best types of crafts are the ones that you could just do with scissors and your imagination. The next thing I will be upcycling is this leather jacket. I'm not going to be cutting up the jacket, I'm just going to be painting on it. The reason I'm going to paint this is because I've attempted to sell it, it hasn't sold, and I already have a leather jacket that I prefer more than this, but I don't have a hand-painted leather jacket. So I figured I'm just gonna make this jacket into a cool pattern that can be a nice statement piece in my closet that I know I'm going to wear. So for the jacket, I am just painting using acrylics. You can use leather paints, but I found that painting on a leather that is porous and not sealed, the acrylics will adhere very well and it won't come off. But if I did find that the painting was coming off at some point in the future, I could always spray a sealer on top of it to protect it from future wear. I didn't have too much of an idea in mind when I created this jacket, and I think that's what made it so special, is that everything you see truly is just me winging it, which makes it even more amazing because when you overthink things, sometimes it's not as great. And then to make sure that the paint looked like it was being worn, I put my hand inside of the jacket and kind of scrunched the paint around, leaving this weathered effect to the paint as it dried. Every time I hand paint anything, I always gravitate towards adding quotes or something inspirational on my work. And I think this is because I really appreciate when I see someone wearing something and what it says speaks to me. So I just like to imagine that the quotes that I write speak to other people. So for this jacket, I just painted just abstract random things on here. I really like how checkers look. So I painted a checkered print, which was super easy. I painted the arm red. I plan on adding more stuff to this down the line, like studs around the collar, but I don't have the correct tool to do it right now. And then I put a little saying, "Just do it," in the corner because I find it inspirational, and anyone that might see this jacket might think the same thing as well. And then my favorite quote: "The problem is you think you have time." It's kind of something that someone might see if you're wearing it and think, wow, that makes a lot of sense. That really resonates with me. Now I've got a whole new jacket. It's definitely a statement piece, and that's what I was going for. So I turned a black jacket into something I could wear all the time, and I absolutely love it. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I hope that you got some ideas for upcycling your wardrobe before you just decide to give everything away. Go through and find some of your favorite materials and colors and just look at the item and try to get creative and figure out ways that you could make it work in your wardrobe. It's a great way to avoid going out and buying new things if you don't have to, because most of the things in your closet can be made into something new as long as you just have the creativity to actually do it. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next one.